Hey guys, Sophia here with turquoisetoffee.wordpress.com, and it's time for another video. Today we're talking about the 2020 IFBB Atlantic Coast Pro Bikini and Pro Women's Physique results. This was a super exciting show, quite a lot of familiar faces, but also maybe a few you haven't seen before. Very exciting. Let's get right into it. Okay, so we always begin by talking about Olympia. Now, the reason I have a question mark here is I am using a shot of the 2020 rules, and of course, we're into the 2021 qualification period. So I'm not certain that the rules will be identical, but they're probably going to be pretty close, if not the same. So starting with the bikini category, which you see on the right side, because there's more than 25 contests in a year, the winner of the bikini contest automatically qualifies for Olympia. Second through fifth receive points, which I've circled, and then at the end of the qualification period, the top 5 all qualify for Olympia. For women's physique, it's very similar. The contests are broken up into tiers, and just take a little notice here of the Rising Phoenix. We're going to mention that at the end of the video. That is a tier 1. It's just as important as the Arnold Classic, so that's very exciting that that's coming up soon. Anyway, so this contest falls into a tier 4, which means the winner qualifies for Olympia. Second through fifth receive the points that I've circled. And then at the end of the qualification period, the top 3 all get to qualify for Olympia. So, talking about bikini. Here is our list. It was a very large class of bikini competitors. A lot of names you probably recognize, but unfortunately we can only talk about our top 5 because those are the ones that receive those points for the 2021 Olympia period. So in first place is Emily, second is Doraja, third is Ashlynn, fourth was Romina, and fifth, Ellie. So beginning with Ellie in 5th place, who I think looks fantastic. Beautiful suit, great hair, lovely makeup. Her earrings are very bold, very eye-catching, but they're lovely. In fact, all of her jewelry is quite bold, but very nice. I think her body is phenomenal. She's got a beautiful hourglass shape. Her shoulders are very nicely developed, very rounded into these gorgeously spread lats, a nice small waist with very defined obliques, nice flat abs, and then her lower body in particular is so defined. Her conditioning is really quite great. You see a lot of definition in her quads, especially around her kneecaps, that beautiful line running down the side of her leg. I think she looks fantastic. Compared to the other ladies in this lineup, she is the most defined, and maybe that's part of why she's in 5th place rather than placing even higher. Maybe they were looking for something a little softer in this competition, but my goodness, she looks tremendous to me. Extremely athletic, very muscular. Well done. 5th place is awesome. And she's actually already qualified for the 2020 Olympia. She had received a 1st place at the Shiro Classic. So she is on top of the game and doing fabulous. 5th place is awesome. Okay, next is Romina. I'm sure you recognize Romina. We saw her a lot in the 2020 qualification period, but we're starting fresh with 2021. I do like to always show a picture of the Arnold if any of our competitors were there. And you can see at the Arnold, she got 8th, and here she is getting 4th. And I think she looks as lovely as ever. She has incredible, beautiful arms. I love the amount of muscle in her shoulders and her biceps. She's got a beautiful shape in her arms in particular. Nice lats, coming into a very well-defined obliques with nice flat abs and a beautiful rounded glute, and then nice legs. Her conditioning is nowhere near as lean as Ellie, for example. Even compared to her look at the Arnold, she has a lot more of a softness to her, but obviously it's just the right amount because the 4th place is awesome. So I think she looks fantastic. Her posing is lovely. She looks very natural. She looks very relaxed. Suit's beautiful. Hair, makeup, everything fantastic. As usual, Romina looks great. 4th place is awesome. Okay, next in 3rd place is Ashlynn, who we saw a lot during the 2020 qualification So much so that she was at the top of the list with points. She's going to the Olympia. She's just doing fantastically. Now, we have a third place for her, which I think is really good. She looks beautiful as always. Of course, I have to say I love her turquoise bikini. It's beautiful. She's very fair with the light blonde hair and that bright bikini. Gosh, does she ever stand out? Just beautiful. From a physique perspective, she's always just so professional and so good. Beautiful abs in particular. I love her obliques. A very nice hourglass shape with those very beautiful rounded shoulders into those nicely spread lats, a very small little waist, and then great glutes. And what I found particularly beautiful on Ashlynn is her hamstrings. You can really see this gorgeous little dip under her glute and then right into these nice rounded hamstrings. That's a little bit more rare. Some of the other girls have a lot more of a flatness to the back of their legs, and I think it looks gorgeous. So I think Ashlynn is doing fantastically, and third place is awesome, and she did great. Okay, next in second place was Doraja. Now, Doraja is another Olympia qualified athlete. She had gotten first at the Powerhouse and the Hurricane Pro last year. And then we also saw her at the Arnold, where she got 11th. So here she is working towards the 2021 Olympia, and she's doing great. Second place. Fantastic. I love the new suit. It's very bright. It looks great with her skin and her hair color. It's like a dark turquoise, almost a jade or a teal. It's just beautiful. Her hair is gorgeous. Her makeup is lovely. I love the dark lip. It's very striking. Just a little bit of earrings sparkling through her hair. Gorgeous. She looks fantastic. As for her physique, amazing. She is, I think, the most hourglassy of all of these ladies. Just a beautiful shape. Her lats are so well developed, and then her waist is just minuscule. It is so small, so tiny, beautifully defined obliques, little teeny tiny stomach with nice definition in her abs, and then these gorgeous round glutes. Beautiful. She has lovely definition, that nice line running down the side of her legs, a little bit of a definition above her kneecap. She looks fantastic. I love the way she poses. I think it's very flattering. It really highlights her hourglass shape. I think she did great. Second place is tremendous. Okay, and now in first place is Emily. Now, this is so phenomenal. Emily, this is her pro debut, and only a week before had she gotten her pro card at the NPC National Championships. So, what a whirlwind. What a month for her. That is incredible. I'm so happy for her. Unbelievable. Qualified for the 2021 Olympia right out of the gate. It's insane. Well done. So I think she looks beautiful. Her shoulders are very striking to me. I really notice the beautiful shape of her shoulders, a nice amount of muscle in her lats, and a gorgeous trim stomach. Very nice obliques, a nice amount of definition in her abs. And then beautiful shape to her legs, nice glutes, nice quads, not the craziest amount of definition. You know, she's got that little bit of softness, like I've mentioned with a few of the other girls, which obviously is working to her advantage. She looks beautiful, extremely tall, very eye-catching. You really notice her on the stage. I think she looks great. From hair and makeup and suit perspective, I wouldn't mind a little more volume in her hair just to kind of have a little bit more pizzazz. I think the color is great. The styling is lovely. But yeah, just a little more volume to maybe a little more curl from the front. But I love that it's off her shoulders, and I think she looks awesome. And I'm so proud. I think a first place is amazing. Well done. Okay, so here's a comparison of all the girls. I had to mash up a couple different of the call out pictures to show you everybody lined up against each other. I think you can see what I mean about Ellie having the most conditioning. You really see a lot of the muscle in her legs, whereas the other girls have a little bit more of a softness to them. Beautiful shoulders on everybody, great hourglass figures. Doraja in particular, you really notice that hourglass. But my goodness, what a beautiful lineup. I love the variety of suit colors. Everybody has a different look with their hair and their whole presentation, different ways of standing. To me, Emily and Romina look a little bit more kind of upright and natural and just standing very, I don't want to say normally because they're not standing normally. They're posing and they're posing to a particular spot to make their bodies look as best as they absolutely can. But there's just a naturalness about them. Ellie, Doraja, Ashlynn have this more of a twist. So they're really showcasing their hourglass. I wouldn't even mind seeing Romina twist a little bit more to really show off the beautiful lats that she has. But my goodness, what a great lineup. And now from behind, I think Emily really has some beautiful glutes. They're very round on the sides. Right here. I found that quite eye-catching. But I mean, my gosh, everybody looks fantastic. Doraja and Ellie, I think, have a little more definition in the hamstrings than the rest, but obviously it's just fine because they're placing in the top 5. I was going to say, in terms of the hair length, I think a couple of them for sure could maybe lose just a little bit. I don't think the hair needs to be that long, but that's just my preference. I like to see the really tiny little waists, especially from behind. But I mean, my gosh, everybody looks amazing. What a great lineup of bikini girls. Now, from a Olympia perspective, again, I have that question mark because I'm not certain, but Emily would be qualified for 2021. Doraja, I believe, gets 5 points. Ashlynn gets 4. Romina gets 3. And Ellie gets 2. Okay, let's talk about women's physique. So another fairly large lineup, and here are our top 5. So Emily in first, Elizabeth in second, Patricia in third, Jenny in fourth, and Bayan in fifth. So starting with Bayan in fifth. Now you'll remember Bayan, she got first place at the Chicago Pro, which qualified her for the 2020 Olympia. Here she is working towards her 2021 qualification with a 5th place, which is pretty fantastic. She looks amazing as usual. Great amount of muscle, beautiful shape, nice V taper, great amount of muscle in her legs, beautiful quads. I think where Bayan was a little lacking was in her conditioning. Not that she's in condition, because my gosh, you can see some beautiful definition in her abs. But compared to the other girls, she definitely didn't have as much separation between her muscles and not quite as dry looking as the others. You'll notice it more in the comparison photos. But I mean, looking at her on her own, she looks absolutely beautiful. She has such a bright smile. I think 5th place is great. Look at those calves. My gosh, she's awesome. And I think she's going to continue to do very, very well. Okay, next in 4th place is Jenny. I hope I'm saying your name right, Jenny, if you're watching. I think she, again, beautiful. What a nice package. Beautiful makeup, beautiful hair. Even her nail polish matches her suit, and her suit is lovely. I think her conditioning is even better than Bayan's. You're seeing a little bit more separation. Great abs, beautiful V taper, and her arms and shoulders look lovely. I wouldn't mind if she had just a little bit more conditioning. And it must be so difficult because this is already amazing. But I wouldn't mind seeing even more of the muscles in her legs. And I think really you notice what I'm talking about from behind in the back shot. So we'll get there in a second. But so a little bit, tiny bit more conditioning just to be able to see a bit more definition between the muscles. But my goodness, 4th place is amazing. She also got 2nd place in the Masters category. So I'm so impressed. She looks beautiful. This was fantastic. Okay, next in 3rd place was Patricia, who looks awesome. Now there's a lot more separation between her muscles. That's what I'm talking about with that conditioning and the definition. I like when you can really see everything in those legs especially. So beautiful, beautiful quads, amazing lats, great shoulders. I love her suit. I think her whole little presentation with her hair up is very unique. It's lovely. Nice jewelry. She looks amazing. Her legs in particular are really quite awesome. She doesn't have the tiniest little waist. You really notice it when we get to our second place winner. There's quite a difference. But I mean, she's got definition in those abs, so she still is looking amazing. And she got first place at the Masters portion of this competition. So she did phenomenal. I think she looks awesome. It was a great show for her. Okay, next in second place is Elizabeth. That's what I mean about that really tight, trim, very small little waist. And when the waist is so small and tight like that, it just makes your V-taper look incredible. And I think Elizabeth is insane. She looks so good. She's got great conditioning. You're really seeing a lot of separation and definition in her leg muscles. The amount of muscle she has is also very beautiful. She's got great lats, beautiful arms. I think her suit is very flattering. I like her hair being up. It's got kind of a cuteness about it. Just gorgeous. Great makeup, great posing. She looks awesome. I love the conditioning. I love her obliques in particular. My goodness. I wish I could see a few more lines going across her abs, but it could just be in this particular picture that you're not seeing them. I think she looked awesome, and a second place is amazing. And now finally in first place is Emily, who really takes the cake. You know, she's got it all. She's got the very large muscles. Her quads are so rounded, so full. Her lats are insane. When you compare all the girls in the next picture, her lats are just a knockout. Absolutely incredible. And because her lats are so big, it just gives her such a V-taper, and she just really looks incredible to me. Nice definition, nice conditioning. You're seeing a lot of separation. She looks unbelievable. I like the suit color, her makeup, her earrings, everything. She just looks amazing. First place is awesome. She had gotten 12th at the Chicago Pro. So what an improvement. She's doing fantastic. And now she's qualified for Olympia 2021. Okay, so here's a look at everybody side by side, and maybe you can see what I mean about both Emily and Elizabeth really kind of having sensational V-tapers. But Emily in particular, those lats are just so developed, and it makes her waist look so small in comparison, and then into these very large legs. Just beautiful. But everybody looks amazing. You know, it's just gorgeous. These physique women are so impressive. And now from behind, I think you'll agree with me that our first, second, and third place, they just had the conditioning right on. You really see a lot of definition between the muscles, even the hamstrings, the glutes, everything in their back is just so easily pronounced and amazing. Fourth and fifth place were so good too. You know, they're still in the top 5. They're doing tremendously, but they're just not quite as defined as our top 3. But my goodness, beautiful shapes on all of these women, amazing glutes. I'm so impressed. What a great top 5. Okay, now from a points perspective, Emily would be qualified for Olympia, and then I believe Elizabeth gets 4 points, Patricia gets 3, Jenny gets 2, and Bayan gets 1. Now, like I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, we have a huge competition coming up, the Rising Phoenix World Championship for Women's Bodybuilding, as well as the Arizona Women's Pro Show. And that is all of the categories except wellness. So bikini, fitness, figure, women's physique, women's bodybuilding. It's coming up on the 5th. So exciting. And then we also have the Battle of Texas, which is another bikini show, all happening next weekend. So I will be back with recaps of those 2 shows. And then we had a few cancellations that I'll just mention here. There was supposed to be the Governor's Cup, but the pro show has been canceled. The Toronto Ben Wider Natural Pro Show has been canceled. And then the Powerhouse Pro Bikini Show is postponed until next year. So unfortunately, we're losing a few, but we still get some really big ones. And then, of course, the Olympia is coming up in less than 3 weeks. So make sure you subscribe. I will be back with recaps of all of those competitions. Please give me a like if you like this video, and let me know in the comments how excited you are getting for Olympia. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's only a few weeks away. Ah, so exciting. You can find me at turquoisetoffee.wordpress.com and, of course, on Instagram at turquoisetoffee.